Today is a big day. It's the hottest part of the summer, but it's also dry weather. So I am actually going to be up on the roof today. So this is something I'm always dreading, but it's one of the most important projects I need to work on. And my goal is to replace the valley flashing. There's not a whole lot of it. There's probably about, let's see, about 90 feet worth of valley that I need to pull the screws and get the sheet metal up and then tuck in the new valley flashing. So probably I'm not going to do this the right way, but I'm going to give it a shot. Interesting side note, and I may have mentioned this before, I found out that I can legally work on my own roof without a license or certification or whatever is required. And I can actually have people help me, but it has to be help that is uncompensated. So that means I can't buy sandwiches or anything for them. So I don't know which is harder job, working on the roof or getting somebody to work for free. So today I'll be working on my own, and no real risk because not going to really be much around the edges. But yeah, it's a big, gigantic flat roof, so that's a good thing. I have been dreading this for a long time. So I got my handy dandy sunburn protection on the back of my neck because I'll probably be hunched over all day. And a little disclaimer, the wind's going to be blowing really heavy, I'm sure, because I'll be up high. And that's going to affect the microphone. So I'm going to do is I have a few tricks up my sleeve to kind of reduce that rumble. I'm going to put those on, but there will be a little bit of microphone sound inevitably. So yeah, so in advance, I apologize for that. And I'm not looking forward to this. It's probably, I know it's way hotter up there than it is down here. So. Okay, last thing I promised before we head up there. So I bought this new like tool belt thing because I needed something to carry all those sheet metal screws. And I didn't have a belt, so I cut a piece of tie down strap. And it just occurred to me when I put this tool belt on, it was like Clark Kent, you know, changing into his Superman outfit. Does he change into that, or does he always have it on underneath? I don't know. But I put it on and it just washes over me. I'm a working man now. And isn't that amazing what a tool belt can do to your psyche? Anyway, I'm not going to fool myself any longer. I'm going to go try to see if I can get something done. So, okay, so we're up here on the roof, and my goal is to replace this valley flashing. So whoever did this roof I guess they did an okay job. It's like a straight shot. But there's one area where they clearly did not do a good job. And that is, this is the high point right here. That's the house where the elevator motor is. And so from, I don't know if I can get back to give you a little sense of scale. So this comes off the elevator house, and this comes off of the main roof section. And so theoretically, from this point, which is the high point here of this valley, all the way to the edge should be a straight line that water can just go down and run off. But it's not. It's more like a sagging clothesline. It's tied up at 2 points and sagging in the middle a little bit. Because it goes great, goes great, goes great. And then right about here, it's too low. And then it flattens out. And water is pooling right there. So Okay, so there's that. The second thing is that because of that, this has been a problem area, and somebody's come in multiple times and coated this with tar, but tar kind of doesn't hold up. So if you can see, that's the metal flashing under there. That's the tar. And so water can just get in at hundreds of places all along here. The one place that it's holding is down here where this water is pooling, but that's also not good. So this angle in this valley, correcting that, is a little bit above the scope of what I can do today. What I'm hoping to do is replace the valley flashing and stop the water from getting into the building. So there are actually two places where I have valleys to replace. So there's this guy here, and I would say this is about 30 feet long, and this is about 50 feet long. And then way down here, we've got kind of another problem area. It's another valley. You can see where they've done, somebody's come up and tried to seam a lot of stuff, and those are kind of the problem areas. The good thing about that is they're kind of identified. I can use those to tell me what I need to do. Okay, so there's about 80 feet of valley flashing back there that I just showed you, and then there's this guy here. That's probably 20 feet there and maybe 25 feet on this side here. So we've got wildlife up here on a regular basis. Apparently they've been eating elderberries. But yeah, so yeah. As you can see, there's major crack going on, and this is a place where water is getting in also. So I need to replace all of this, and yeah, then I need to go to each one of these places where that was repaired there. Somebody's kind of done something here. This has happened multiple times. There's different materials they've tried to use to get leaks to stop. And what I'm going to do is go to each one of these, pop all these screws, lift it up, replace the cross members there that's screwed down to, put a new board in there because a lot of them are, I don't know, but I'm guessing they're water damaged. And then screw it back down. And any places that are particularly problematic, I'm going to put like a shiplap. I'm going to put an extra piece of material in there to help shed the water off. So, yeah. I think I'm going to have to dedicate several weekends to this project. But for today, I want to make some progress just on that valley up there. So, that being said, it's kind of scary. I don't have experience at doing this kind of thing, but it seems pretty straightforward because if you look at it, the roof is in really great condition. I mean, it's not rusted out. It's not, you know, it's just the seams that need some attention and the valleys. And if I can get those sorted, that is like 99% of any challenges that I'm experiencing. So, whoop, that's popping. So I went on Amazon and I bought 4,000 metal screws. And now that I'm up here, I can see that that's probably not even close to enough. Who knows? I don't know. There are a lot of metal screws on this building. So what I thought I'd do is, once the project's here where I'm opening it up and, you know, replacing kind of what's under the seams and all that stuff. And then I go back through and replace all those screws. I want to have a contest here on the channel. I'll put a poll in the forum on the community tab, and I'll let you guys guess how many screws I'll be replacing on this building. It's 400 feet long. It is about 50 feet across, and then we've got that extra section and that extra section. And I'll do something like one guess per YouTube account. So hopefully you guys will be honest and not set up 100 accounts to make more than one guess. Come on, it's a simple contest. Nobody's going to do that. So, yeah, but I've got a couple ideas in mind for a prize on that. And out of memory, I made my guess. I thought, oh, 4,000 screws will do it. It definitely will not do it. So, I'm thinking like one line down this 400-foot section might be 4,000 screws. So, all right, yeah. But once I get to that, I'll make a big deal out of it, and you'll hear more about it before I do that. So, okay. Now I just want to tell you the main challenge I'll be facing today, and then I'm going to get busy. So I made an attempt at this once before down on that section, but it was just like the day before I was leaving to go back overseas, and I got thrown a curveball. So these are the screw heads, and they're covered in tar. And what I was doing was putting the socket that goes into the drill on there and just kind of forcing it down. But what I found out was once you got that screw head into that nut, believe it or not, that tar makes it strip that socket out. And I mean quick. And so I didn't buy the cheap ones. I bought the brand name ones. And I'll tell you what, like after about 6 or 7 of these screw heads, it's already stripped out. So it's really important to get as much of that off as possible so that you can get a good fit for the socket that goes on there. So I need to experiment a little bit about how to clean these up. I'm thinking I might have to take a quick break and run and get a wire wheel for the drill or angle grinder or something, so that I can hit and just, you know, power it off. So a friend of mine mentioned that I can heat this up and get it off, but I think that's possible for the first year or two. But once it's like extremely dry, and you start trying to heat it, it just kind of cooks it more, it makes it more crispy. So, yeah, so I got to figure out what I'm going to do about that. So I can't spend 10 minutes on every screw trying to get it prepped for that socket. So, I mean, just doing that on that one screw was probably about a minute, and I've got hundreds and hundreds. So yeah, that's not gonna work. I'm gonna have to go get a wire wheel. The sad thing is I'm gonna spend money on the wire wheel, and I don't even know if it's gonna be an effective solution. Okay, so just got back from Harbor Freight, and this angle grinder was on sale and was only $29. So I picked up these super heavy duty wire wheels, and I think that if I slice that tar that's up there, just give it a quick slice, maybe once in each direction, and then hit it with this, it should clean them up pretty good. So That's the theory. We'll see how it is in practice. And this is a cabled one. And that's where this guy comes in. So I would tell you all about this guy, except I'm waiting for my channel to grow big enough where I can get sponsored videos. And if I tell you all the good stuff about it, they're not gonna have me sponsor their video. But all joking aside, this thing's pretty cool. And it puts out 1800 watts, so 120 volt. And it's kind of heavy, but I can carry it anywhere in the building, and I don't have to spend 30 minutes running extension cords because I only have that one outlet up there. So this is super convenient for me. So what I'm going to do is, this is actually a 4.5 inch, I don't know what you call this thing. It receives a 4.5 inch wheel. And I have a 4-inch wire wheel. So, but I think that the threaded part will accommodate this guy here. So I'm gonna open this up and see if I can get it set up, and then we'll go up and we'll actually be making some progress. Okay, I was right, did screw on there. And just tighten it up. Okay, let me see here. How's this work? I think that thing needs a guard on it. Okay. That's a pretty nifty little design. It just slides on there, and then just press that bracket in. Like that, and it's on. So, okay, back on with the wheel. Let's see here. So this is like a learning experience for me. So I guess I need to put that spacer in because those brushes are touching the guard there. So off with it for the second time. Okay, there we go. Looks good now. So back up to the hard work. And here's the little test screw that we're going to use. Wow, that's hot. It's pretty hot up here. So I'll just do like I said, and oh man, my knife is even hot. Wow. Just gunk it up a little bit, and then well, that cleaned that up clean as a whistle. So now I can put that socket on. Okay, so in theory that works. Just have to do it a couple hundred more times. So a couple thousand more times. All right, okay. Got drops of sweat on my glasses. Fun fact, using that utility knife isn't necessary. That wire wheel is so beefy that it just chews right through that tar real quick. So that's a great thing because it's going to save a lot of time. And so I think I can just start trucking all the way down. Awesome. Okay. Trigger warning here. So I was going down this this channel here, and I looked over and I see a clump sitting right on one of the screws, and I thought that raccoon. Sometimes I feel like Bill Murray from Caddyshack warring with the groundhogs, but the real bane of my existence is the raccoons. And he put a clump of something exactly on a screw head. Like he's got all that territory, and he picked a screw head to plant it on because he knew that I was coming on this day to move that screw head. But I was jumping to conclusions because when I turned the angle grinder over, I see how it's gunking up. So it's just that. It's not a mess, because there's what I found on a screw head. So thank goodness it wasn't what I thought it was. So, okay. So another challenge. I've been running that angle grinder pretty good for a while now. And it looks like it's pretty much out of power. So I'm going to have to run an extension cord up here, sadly. I went home last week and didn't turn it off. And so it's just been sitting there the whole week. And it had something plugged in. I don't know. But when I brought it up, it was on the lower couple bars. And I got about half of one side of this thing running a pretty strong angle grinder nonstop for a good little bit. And it's running pretty low. So I'm going to go get that extension cord. Oh, that's a bummer. It's like a half hour to figure all that out. Okay, so I just had a stroke of luck because I forgot that I had been using that winch right there for pulling stuff up and down through the elevator shaft. And if you look right there, it's plugged in. So all I have to do is get like a little 40-foot extension cable and I'll be able to continue working. Okay, so all of the other places that I have to repair are going to be so much easier because they haven't been slathered with tar like 100 times. So where am I at right now? It's getting to be about mid-afternoon, and I've got this, basically this whole, just this side of this valley all the way down. There may be a few that I've missed because they were buried so deep in the tar. And so now I'm going to come back up here and start on this side and go all the way down. And then once I've got both sides kind of free, I'm going to push that water off down at the end. And then I'm going to go back with the angle grinder, and clean this up because I have those gaskets, and that stuff there is not an even surface, so I'm not sure I'll get a great seal with those rubber gaskets on the bottom. So I have to at least somewhat clean all that up. And then there's such a buildup when I put the new valley flashing on. There'll be a hump there, and I don't want it to valley and then hump over and then go back down and water somehow go that way. So I've got a lot of work to just get all of that tar ground up and away so that I can have clean joinery between it all. And yeah, this is a pretty epic project for me, and even by my standards, it's pretty epic. Okay, so major step. I have got all the screws out all the way down except for that little puddle right there. I'm going to push that water off this evening and then come back in the morning and get that last little part. But before I go home today, I still have a lot more work to do. And like I said, there's so much tar built up over the holes before I put the new screws in. I got to clean that up. So I'm going to basically go down both sides with that angle grinder and just keep working it till I've got it at least clean around the holes so that the new screws can get a good compression seal there with those gaskets. So yeah. I need to pay somebody to do this. Okay, so I just did my first pass. Let me show you what it looks like. So everywhere where a screw goes, I'm knocking that tar back so that I can get a real flat seal for that washer. And probably I should spend a whole day and just clean it all up. But I don't want to. Okay, one more pass just on this other side. It's gonna be a little bit tougher than the first pass because it was a little bit deeper. And then I'm gonna call it a day. Check this out. That's the tar that the grinder is throwing up. So I'm gonna try to squeeze back into these shoes tomorrow and get one more day out of them. All right. Oh my gosh, losing my mind. I have no idea why I did not start with the easier sections. Why? It's getting late, very late afternoon, and it should be cooling down, but for some reason, why is it that, like, that's when it just seems like the sun is the most unrelenting? Maybe it's because I'm like more sensitive after being out in it all day. So I put some sunblock on, but just makes me sweat and get slimy. So necessary evil, I guess. All right. Just a little, I keep negotiating with myself. Okay, I'm gonna make it that far before I quit for the day and get that done. Like, okay, maybe just a little more. Keep pushing. But I think I've pretty much had it. Okay, so I brought a gallon of water today and 2 Gatorades, big ones, and it is not enough. So I'm completely out, and I've got just this last little section of grinding that back. This angle grinder might be a one-time user. It's getting pretty hard to clean up, but look at that brush. That was brutal brush, and half of it's gone. So that tells you how much work it is to get that stuff off. Those are steel threads in there, so yeah. That's it. That's all I got in me today. That is all I have in me today. So, okay, guys. That being said, I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna keep pushing at it, and I'll get this building in the dry for sure. So, I have to, right? I have to. So, okay. All right. Thanks, and I'll continue on in the next video. So, we'll see you then. Bye bye.